Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Thursday to you all this morning on this April the 10th of 2024. Uh, is it the 10th or the no, it's April the 11th of 2024. Sorry, y'all. Time is just flying by so quickly. I just can't keep up. Okay, just giving God thanks this morning for allowing us to open our eyes and see a new day dawning. Thanking Him for our health and our strength today. Those of us who was able to get up this morning and open our eyes because some didn't have this opportunity again. And whatever we didn't get right yesterday, the Lord is going to give us a chance again today to get it right. I'm just so grateful for His goodness, His mercy, His favor, and His grace that He has given us. Thanking Him for watching over us as we slept and slumbered last night and keeping our homes protected and our loved ones as well. And also that just thanking God. He's just such a good God to us. If we just only take time out to just read our scriptures and give God thanks. Life ain't so bad. Life is what you make it. It's the old saying, life is what you make it. I know sometimes it get hard. Um we struggling with life. Everybody is people are having a panic. You keep listening to these things in the headlines, the news, the got your spirit all terrorized and everything. So sometimes you just got to get away from it. You got to get away from it and take a break from it for a while. So what I got for you this morning is God do hear the prayers of the righteous. God do hear sincere prayers. Believe it or not, I've had this young lady in my prayers because she was really running down a wayward path and being disobedient to her mother and to her father, to her parents. And it says in the word of God that, children, honor thy mother and thy father, and your days will be longer upon this earth. Fathers and mothers and parents, do not provoke your children to have a reason to disown you or disrespect you in any kind of way. That's what I'm getting from the scriptures. You could go to the book of Ephesians, chapter I believe chapter 4, verses 6. We're gonna go to that scripture this morning. And I really had prayers for this young lady, Russell Simmons and his wife, ex-wife, from their union, this child that was running wild. She just met some man on vacation out in St. Bart's, an older man, a 65-year-old man, wealthy and everything, and started having this romantic affair with this sugar daddy. On the fact that she was looking for attention, I wouldn't say love, because she wasn't looking. What she was doing was not love. It was looking for attention, looking for a rise from her father. Everybody's saying because she got some daddy issues going on, and that Russell's been absent in her life, and some other things took place where he wasn't financially supporting her anymore. So she figured this was her way to revenge her father or to rebel against her parents, against her dad. Anyway. And people were saying things about, oh, well, apple don't fall too far from the tree. Her father liked young girls. Her mama liked, older men and all of that stuff. But the thing is this because mommy and daddy did what they did should not mean you should take the same path. You should do something different. You have a more of an opportunity than what maybe they had back then, and it was acceptable a little bit more back when they in their time. Put it this way, but things are changing. You young people today, a 21-year-old mind is not the same as a 21 mind was back in, I would say, in the 1930s, the 1920s, or way, way, way back then, back in 1800s, whatever. People, the mind of the human mind today is a little different. A 21-year-old today is more like looked at as a 12-year-old today because children stay home with their parents longer and being under the care of their parents is their parents are still responsible for them. at 21 years old and 22 years old and 20, and Lord, it just goes on and on and on. Like when I be telling people like how our life started out, I mean, I was out of my mom's house at the age of like 18. You know what I'm saying? And I was responsible. I was a responsible adult. I made my choices because my mother, she also was out of her parents' home at an early age and married at an early age and everything. My mother was married at the age of 18. My oldest sister was married at the age of 19. So in those days, people were more responsible. We didn't have the internet, we didn't have social media or whatever. We just had to get out there in the world and make our own adult choices, and we were responsible adults at that time. My mother was like, at 18, you out of my house, you better make some plans. Either you're gonna get out of here, you're gonna go to school, you're gonna go away to college, you're gonna make some plans to go to college, and if you are gonna decide you're gonna want to live at home, you're gonna have to pool in the income, you're gonna have to pay bills. So to get you an early start, so you could be more responsible for your own life, you had to get out there, get your own apartment, even if you had to get a roommate or something, and y'all wanted to do what y'all want to do. Because in my mother's house at 18 years old, even you was living at home, you wasn't coming in her house at a certain time of the day. No, you wasn't gonna have a key to come in anytime you feel like it. Now today, these adults, supposedly people want to say these young people are adults, and they're very irresponsible. They're very irresponsible today. So Aoki, Aoki, running around with the sugar pops with this man 40 something year old gap. She was looking for security. She was looking for a place of security. She was looking for somebody to take care of her. But these days things are changing. A 65-year-old is not the same 65-year-old when it was my grandparents and it was my parents' time. You see, it's a totally different thing. You got 65 years old that living like a 21-year-old or a 25-year-old that even look better than some 21 than 25-year-old and got more energy and more youth about them. I'm just saying, y'all, the science in the human life has been changing. Look at these babies now. They growing up. They so big. I look at my classroom and I look at these babies. I gotta sometimes change them, and they 2 years old and they don't know how to use the toilet. And some of them, the kids today don't even know how to use their fine motor skills. The writing, we used to write, use cursor and everything. They don't took cursor out of school. So things really have changed. You got to think about the change of the mind, of the human mind has changed. People are now more today wise but more weaker, you could say. They wise but weak, and it says that in the word of God that they will become wise but they will become weak. um Today people are so today off the top. They get unhinged over any little thing now. People don't have the that way of knowing how to control their emotions anymore. People don't have no discipline. They don't know how to have discipline themselves, self-regulate themselves. So I'm just saying. Anyway, back to this topic about yes, they're over. And I'm thanking God for the fact that this relationship has ended, on the simple fact. Good morning to everyone that's in the chat. I can't see you because whenever I got something up on the screen, I really can't see who's on my screen. So bear with me, please. Bear with me. Yep. So I'm just saying to people here that just because this young lady is 21 years old doesn't mean she's 21 years old. Her mind is still functioning as if she's a 12-year-old. She doesn't really have all her senses. She's still under the care of her parents in a sort of kind of way, because she's still, mommy and daddy was supporting her, through her education and everything. She not really didn't live on her own. And when her father said, okay, all your benefits are cut off, you're not getting no more money from me to take care of you. I done did everything I can. Now it's time for you to get out there in the world and fend for yourself. She had a modeling career going on, trying to follow her mother's life as a model, which I don't understand why she want to do that when she got a Harvard degree. I would think she should pursue her own happiness and her own dreams if that's what she wants to do, as far as becoming what she studied in her her craft in school, in education. That's it. And at this time, I would never want to recommend a young lady to be a model. That should be her career. And modeling, maybe back in the 80s and 90s, maybe we would have had a chance in the 90s. But the year, this millennium, this 2024 thing, this time, all the stuff that's going on in the industry of that industry probably was going on back then, but now it's a little bit more. It's gotten a lot more worse than it was because now things are exposed. Not saying that it got worse, but things are now being open to the public more now than what used to be. Out in the public about what goes on behind the lives of these young women that's in this kind of life. They sell them off as they start, and I hate to say it, but they have to do some things the advance in their career. Okay, they have to do some things to advance in their career, and sometimes they just pass them around to certain buyers out there, or they become S workers. It's like being selling yourself for sex at highest bidder. No, it's like a career of S trafficking yourself, or you becoming an S worker. Because they be with a superstar NBA player, or they become escorts and all that other stuff, and it just gets messy. They want a career, so they have to sleep with this dude. They're gonna sleep with that one. They have to work and advance themselves in those places to get ahead. And I don't think nobody should have to use their body instead of their brains. So if I was a Yoki, I would probably take another turn in my career. Like I said, you don't have to do what mommy did. You don't have to do what daddy did. You got to do what makes it. What you study. You use your brains and continue to work on your craft. And what you paid a whole lot of money. Your parents paid a whole lot of money for you to get a good education. So let's go into this article and read. This article is coming from The Cut. It's by Daniel Cohen, who wrote this article. And in entertainment. It says last week, it seemed like Aoki Lee Simmons, the 21-year-old daughter of Kimora Lee Simmons and Russell Simmons, had a new 65-year-old boyfriend. But according to People, whatever was happening between Aoki Lee Simmons and restaurante Victorio Asaf is no longer. Not only is it over, it was never a thing, a source told the tabloid, adding that Aoki is learning to navigate her private life in a public sphere. On Friday, following tabloid reports that Simmons and Asaf were dating, Page Six published photos of the two vacationing on St. Bart's. The rumored couple was seen, kissing and swimming at the beach, where Asaf periodically took photos of Simmons while she posed. Over the weekend, Simmons went live on Instagram in a car with an off-camera man she referred to as her boyfriend. Last day in St. Bart, she said in the bizarre video, which showed her repeatedly asking for a crate and pointing out her favorite stores outside the car window. The man she's talking to doesn't show up in the video, but can be heard answering her question, and they both address each other as baby. Asaf, who's been known for founding the Serafina restaurant group, shares two children with his ex-wife, a Swedish former model named Charlotte Bundstrom. In 2021, the couple made tabloid headlines when Bundstrom left him for the founder of Zig and Voltaire, who at the time happened to be married to Bundstrom's identical twin. Among rumors that Asaf... wait a minute. Wow. So his wife left him to marry the husband of her twin. Wow. Messy. Amid rumors that Asaf had hooked up with Bastrom's twin as revenge, she told Page Six. Charlotte and I are in the process of divorce, adding, I have nothing to do with her sister of Charlotte. In 2022, Asaf was pictured at a few parties with then 22-year-old model Naya Gebet. What a pig. I mean, he keep running around with these young females in this. But see, this is what I was just saying about this modeling career. Like, you got these dirty, nasty old men running with these little young women. Because look, they're younger and younger. He still think he's a young man. He's running around with a 20, 21, 22 year old. These women and everything, they still like kind of like on the level of a child, and they thinking capacity, they mindset and everything, something he keep running. He got children with this woman that he was married to, and this elderly man needs to get some therapy. He needs some help. He needs Jesus. Simmons, who models part-time and graduated from Harvard last year at the age of 20, declined to comment on the relationship. Rumors, meanwhile, Kimora posted an Instagram story on Friday showing a panda trying to wrangle a stubborn cub. On my last nerve right now, she wrote, following reports that the couple split. A source told People that Kimora was concerned to see her daughter in that kind of relationship due to what she herself went through. So, presumably, she relived. This has run its course. Okay. Presumably, this has run the course. Well, you know what? She has every right to feel some kind of concerns for her daughter. And like I said, sometimes even though parents might have made some choices and took a route in their life as a mother, nobody probably gave her the guidance. Nobody ever gave her the warning. Nobody ever probably spoke to Kimora at the time when she did it. So you can't really fault her for feeling that this is not right for her daughter. Sometimes people go through things in life to be able to help someone else along the way. I looked at some of the things my mother went through her youth and in her marriage and everything, and having a large family, having a whole bunch of children. I didn't take that route. I saw it differently, you know. But not my mother. If she had the opportunity to do it all over again, she probably wouldn't have made the choices because she didn't have the opportunities I had. You see, so to get out and, whatever, and explore with new life and new things or whatever. But in those days, it was a different time, and Kimora may not have had anyone to give her the guidance that she needed, or give her the whatever it was that she didn't have to get stuck in a relationship, in a marriage with a man like Russell Simmons. And Russell Simmons was taught at a different time these roles of a man to get a young woman, make sure she's young so she can have children, don't get nobody da 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 da. That these are the things that were passed on through generational, I would say, curses. I say curse. But now women are just as powerful as men. Women can go out there now and work and raise a family and be the head of the household and do all of that other stuff. There's so much other rights out there. There's more opportunities out there for females. You don't have to settle to get married. You don't have to settle now to have a husband or raise a family or whatever. Sometimes even if you want to have a family, then he don't want to have a family, but some women out there just want the kids and don't want no husband, which I don't think should be my generation, my mindset. I'm like, if I'm gonna have kids, I ain't gonna do this alone. No, 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 no. We gonna do this together, because we are both responsible for this person's life or this child's life, to clothe them, feed them, educate them, and the whole nine. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna do. I'm just one of those who just made the choice not to do that. Okay. We're gonna get married, we're gonna have a family and children and everything else like that. We're gonna do this together, because I would like some of that burden not to be. I wouldn't like all that to be, that weight to be on me. Okay, so some people, to each his own. But I'm just saying, as far as speaking for Kimora, because I said her mother probably was telling her daughter, yes, her mother probably did tell her daughter, oh, go out there and get an older man just like your dad and I, whatever. But then again, her mother, I went through some biblical things I shared as well. that if Kimura is in support of this, then this is the kind of mother she is. I told you about the story about the young girl from the Bible when her mother was convinced, manipulated the situation, and her mother took her little girl out there and auctioned her, got her daughter to get the head of John the Baptist, doing something so deceitful and evil. And she used her own child, to behead a man because she had a grudge against the man for the man calling her out for sleeping around with the brother, marrying the brother of the child, when John the Baptist called her out. But we know that biblical story. But I'm glad that Kimura, through the prayers of the righteous, will prevail. And I did pray for this family, what they going through. I wasn't going to get on the bandwagon and blame Russell for to being the absent father. Oh, Russell should come and take care of his daughter. Because no matter, sometimes parents, you can't stop. All you can do is pray them through. you know and the Lord said, don't be so harsh. Don't be so harsh. Sometimes they got to go through certain things in life, and I'm glad this was an experience right now while she's still young, that she don't continue to go on a life like this, to continue to be passed on to the next man, to the next man, that she will break some of these, break the cycle. That she's gonna have a woman, she's gonna get into her career, work on her craft. She graduated, you can see, from Harvard. She went to Ivy League school. She could do a whole lot more with her life while she's here and she's young, than to be out here being passed around with dirty, nasty old men. I call him a dirty, nasty old man because she's a child compared to where his age is. Okay, he don't have 43 years of miles on this young lady, okay, of experience and everything. Let her live her life. Don't try to make this young girl old before her time. Don't rush her time. And let her enjoy life. Let her have the experience to explore, have nice boyfriends and stuff like that. I'm saying, just because they your boyfriend, sweetheart, don't mean you got to lay up with them and give them the cookie jar. But I'm just saying, just have some fun. Be a young, have fun, and enjoy being your youth. Don't rush your time. And that's all I wanted to share this morning about the Aoki Simmons. I wanted to share that this morning. But if you want to go into the word, we can go into the word to talk about parents don't do certain things to your children. Like, don't, and children how to be obedient to their parents. It goes both ways. It goes both ways, y'all. So with Aoki, I'm glad that she made a responsible and an adult decision, and I wish her all the best in her future as she move forward in her journey in life, and she finds her happiness and pursue her happiness and everything. So I just wanted to say that. I'll come back with the scripture later because I got to get rushed out of here. I got to go do something. But I came from the book of Ephesians, chapter 6, chapter 4, verses 6. And we'll come back and we probably can, move forward. Talk about more. We can expand more on this topic of young girls who are going out in the world, pursuing dreams, hopes, happiness, whatever. I know we live in a world right now where it's so crazy and dangerous, but we want to pray for our young adults. We want to pray for them, um, our young people. And I spoke about the incident that took place in that church with that young minister, that youth minister, which I really hold the senior pastor at the highest level of what happened, because you should know something was going on in your church with that, in the house of God, and you should have been able to prevent it. You should have been able to prevent what has happened with those two young men that got into a fight. That 32-year-old man he's gone. He left behind three children. That grieving mother of his, and then on top of that, your son going to jail for murder. Point blank, period. You could have came in and prayed that away. And I'm going to get into the... Hi, Juno. Good morning. June, oh, gross. June, breakup. Well, June, I'm glad it's over. I'm glad the relationship is over for Aoki. And I'm looking for this young lady to really find her pursue her happiness and first get involved in her career, in her education. She went to school with a Harvard degree. Don't throw your life away with this elderly man, 43 years old, with all the miles on him. and trying to take her youth. You know, I just pray that, this young lady does find her happiness. Don't be like your mother. Don't be like your father. Be Aoki. Live your dreams. Anyway, y'all gotta go. God bless you. Love you. Peace.